Hey, once again, you have dropped yourself straight into Vella. I'm Azriel Lawless, and you found another Lawless interview. And today we're here with Vella author Ellaura Shoop. Say hi.
Hello.
Hey. So thank you so much for coming and being on the Vella, whatever this is, channel. I started to say show, but it's channel. So thank you very much for coming and being on Vella.
I'm
And
grateful to be here.
excellent. As you know, I snag as many Vella writers as I can get my mitts on and talk to them about what brought them to our wonderful new exciting serial reading platform and so on. And as you have been trapped by me, I am going to ask you those same questions. So if you're ready, we will head forward.
I am all set.
Excellent. So Ellaura Shoop, how long have you been writing, my girl?
Well, that's kind of a long-winded question.
Sure is.
I tried to write my first book when I was 7, actually.
Getting a lot of those. Getting a lot of those toddler writers running around with their little pen and pencil and trying to write a story. So 7 years old. Awesome.
Yeah, and then when I hit middle school, I started to write a little bit more seriously. I really got into poetry. And then high school was when I started making my actual attempts at novels and planning them out. And I've pretty much just been finessing those ideas ever since.
Wonderful. Well, that's great. Absolutely great. So tell me now, when did you begin writing for Kindle Vella?
Well, when I first heard about Vella, I thought it was going to be a really cool platform to check out, but I didn't actually think that that my writing would fit into Vella. I am used to writing in strictly novel formatting with these really long chapters, big word counts, and I didn't think that breaking them down to put them on Vella would work with the flow of the work. So at first, I didn't even consider publishing with Vella.
I see.
Yeah, but I had been working on a novel idea for about a year, about following a lioness, a leopard, and a cheetah in the African savannah. And I had already decided that each chapter was going to be split between all 3 points of view. So the chapters were being written in these really good bite-sized chunks that would fit with Vella and would flow nicely. And I realized, I should give it a shot. I've been writing it. It shouldn't interrupt the flow. It should read nicely. And that's the first story I published on Vella. It's called Falling Storm.
Falling Storm.
Yep. It's the first in the Pride book series.
And and this is your one where the main character is a lion, a cheetah, and who?
And a leopard.
Very cool. Very cool. So Pride, quote, a falling storm. And anything we talk about anytime in these Lawless interviews, you're going to have a link to go to those in the description of the video. So don't panic. Don't try to write nothing down. We'll get it for you. Okay. All right. So Pride, a falling storm. It was the first one that you published. Now, people, she's got 7. All right. So we'll get through them. Hang on. So Pride, a falling storm was number 1. That's good. Excellent. So when did that go up?
So that went up as soon as Vella launched. I think it was available to read that first day.
Oh, cool. So you were one of the really early adopters. You were in there. So I get the feeling that you must have been doing some publishing out on traditional Kindle. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I have
Okay.
right now. I have six works published through KDP.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Well, when you described it, where you started when you were 7 years old, and then you wrote some in high school, I guess I just kind of missed it, or we just didn't touch on it because I asked about publishing for Vella, but you've been publishing for Kindle, KU or KDP for how long?
Uh, Only about 2 months more than I've been publishing with Vella.
Oh, okay, okay, but you've got 6 books out there.
Yep.
Whoa! So when you started, you already had a small catalog to
I
go in
did,
with.
yes.
Whoa! Very smart, very smart. Well, we'll talk about those later if time allows. We're going to talk about your Vellas. And so you put up Pride first. And so it was up. You must have stuck that sucker up somewhere between April and May, June. And then in July, when it lit up, it was available to everybody.
Yep.
How many episodes did you launch with?
I launched with 5 episodes.
Excellent. Cool. All right. So then you're riding along, you got Pride out there, and you decide, hey, I need to write something else. What was the next thing?
So the next thing was called Apollo Invents.
And what's that about?
So that is a little comedy anthology following the Greek gods. It mostly focuses on Apollo. And I really didn't peg myself as someone who could write humor well in any way. I'd never tried it before, but I was thinking that it was something I wanted to get better at. And I've always found the Greek gods to be interesting and have many facets, including humor in the myths. So I thought, let's think of a scenario. And I picked a god, I picked Apollo. And I thought, he's always having visions of the future, right? So what if he had visions of the future that included modern day technology, and he tried to invent what he saw in ancient Greece? And how would everyone, the mortals and his fellow Olympians, react to
that? So he's going to bring the internet to Mount Olympus, right? Or a cell phone or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Each episode follows a different invention.
Oh, wow. That ought to be good. That's excellent. What it makes me think of is, do you know the cartoon The Croods?
Yeah.
When the Nick Cage's character, he's the dad, and he decides he's going to compete with Guy, the smart guy. And he decides he's going to invent stuff. And so he invents like the mobile home where he lays the rocks over his family and stuff like that. This reminds me of that. It sounds really good. I'm going to have to check that out. So after you uploaded the second one, and are these done or any of these finished serials?
All of them are finished except for Apollo Invents right now. That's ongoing.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Okay. So the comedy anthology is done. Apollo Invents is I'm sorry, still going. That's the comedy anthology. So Apollo Invents is still going. Now, what was the third Vella that you put up?
So the next one I put up was, sorry, since there's 7, it takes me a minute to think.
Yes.
I think the next one I put up was Mortals of Ruin.
Mortals of Ruin, people. What is Mortals of Ruin about?
So Mortals of Ruin is my dark YA fantasy. It also focuses on the Greek gods in ancient Greece, but focuses a lot on just a darker, scarier kind of aspects of the Greek gods and fatalism that was common at the time, instead of the comedy aspect like Apollo Invents does.
Okay. And so when did that one go up? Do you recall?
That one went up in December.
Oh, so that one's been up just a short while. How many episodes are there on that if it's finished?
I think there's 25.
And what's the average length of your episodes? Are they kind of the same between stories as far as the length goes, or does each story kind of have its own flavor in terms of the length of the episode?
Each one has pretty much its own flavor for length. I do normally tend to err on the side of longer episodes.
Yeah. Okay. So how many, what's the word count, average word count, get within 200 or 300 on, let's say Mortals of Ruin?
So that average word count for that would probably be right around 4,000.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. So they are really big episodes. Now,
Yeah.
are your first 3 free episodes that large?
Yes. Well, the first episode is actually like the prologue of the novel. So it's a little bit shorter. It's more like 2,000 words, but then the other two free episodes, episode 2 and episode 3, are about 4,000 words.
And this is Mortals of Ruin we're talking about.
Yep.
Okay. So is that true also of Apollo and Vince and Pride?
Yeah, I try to keep the episodes about the same length, no matter whether they're the free ones or the paid for ones. Apollo Invents usually has a shorter word count, normally right around like 2,500. And Pride Falling Storm has a similar word count per episode.
About 2,500.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I love to hear what different writers are doing. This is it's an interesting aspect of the serial platform. It's the episode length. And
Yeah.
I think you almost need a crystal ball, because different types of readers, different types of genres are going to tolerate a longer one or not tolerate a longer one, as the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
I think the writer just has to sort of feel that out. And so I like to get a feel for how the folks I interview here, how they're tackling that challenge, especially those of you out there crazy enough to have, like, I don't know, 7 of them. Okay. So after Mortals of Ruin, Ellaura, you said, I don't have enough in my life going on, so I'm going to load my 4th Vella. Which one did you choose to be your 4th?
So that would be The Blood of the Desert.
Ooh, now I didn't even get a chance to read the synopsis on that one. What is Blood of the Desert about?
So Blood of the Desert is middle grade fiction. It follows one young meerkat as he does his best to try to save his family.
So it's meerkats we're talking about here.
Yes.
So is it meerkats with the sort of Watership Down feeling, or is it meerkats with the Fievel feeling? Which have we got here? Have we got serious meerkat family, like I say, like Watership Down, or is it more lighthearted? You call it middle grade fiction, and I gotta admit I'm ignorant about what these definitions are, so help me out here.
Well, I would say The Blood of the Desert is a bit of a mixture of the two. I think there's a lot of good lighthearted parts, and I think that it would be a fairly easy read for a kid who's in middle school, from the ages like 12 to 14.
And so that's what you mean when you say middle grade fiction?
Yes.
Okay. All right. How does that differ from YA?
So I would say, in my opinion, it differs in that it's just easier, like the flow's easier, the diction's easier for a middle grade like student or child to understand. Both genres should deal with issues that the age range can relate to, and that is appropriate. So for middle grade, I'd say that a lot of the big focus of my writing is just like navigating like family relationships and friendships and just issues like that. And then for YA, I guess the subject can be a little bit darker. Young adults deal with a different set of problems than middle graders, so that's addressed.
That's true. That's very fair. I'm learning all the time. Okay, so after Blood of the Desert, you blinked, you got a couple of bonuses, and you said, Well, I gotta do another one. So what was number 5?
Well, number 5 was, gosh, let me think. I gotta go through my list. Okay, we have Falling Storm, we have Apollo and Vince, Immortals of Ruin, we have the
We
Blood
got
of the
Blood
Dead.
of the Desert already, and now so then we've got oh my god, Otherworldly.
Yes, Otherworldly, Silence. Let's see what I'm trying to think of my 7th
Legend
one.
of Frost and Fire.
That's it. Okay, there we go. That's what I was forgetting. So
See,
I
people,
actually
I know more about what she's written than she knows about what she's written. See?
I actually released my 5th and 6th Vella at the almost the exact same time
Okay.
in January.
And so they are.
So they are Silence and Otherworldly.
And tell us about those two.
Silence is another book about meerkats, but with a different cast of characters, a little bit different of situation. And
were you once a meerkat or?
well, I'd like to think that my spirit animal would be a meerkat. So
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So Silence, that's another meerkat family. And that's another, is it another middle graders book?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And then Legend of Frost and Fire.
Yeah, so Legend of Frost and Fire was actually, it's just a short story that I wrote in high school. Actually, I had been given an assignment by my English teacher to do a retelling of Beowulf, but it had to be very unique. So I decided, why not do Beowulf but with polar bears in an ice kingdom? So that's what I wrote. And I just happened, I was cleaning out all of my folders and documents, trying to get rid of the ones that I didn't need or store the ones that I wasn't using. And I came across a Legend of Frost, a Legend of Frost and Fire. And I decided to open it up and give it another read. And I thought, I actually am really proud of this writing. I'm going to, edit it and fix it up a little so it displays my skills now, and just publish it as a nice free little read for readers.
Well, that's awesome, Ellaura. That is awesome. Now I have to tell you, you look like you're barely out of high school to me, but I'm getting a little long in the tooth, and so everybody is starting to look like they're just out of high school to me. So how many years between you and the old high school doors or the old college doors?
4.
Whoa. So you've been out of college for 4, out of high school for 4?
Out of high school for 4, out of college for 1.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, can I ask what you majored in college?
I double majored in English and psychology.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice combo for a writer. Oh, I love it. I love it. So it's wonderful. You're getting started very early. Are you turning this into a career?
I'm hoping. That's my plan, is to hopefully at some point have enough of a fan base that I can quit my other job and just write full time.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a whole bunch of us out here trying to do that very thing. And I believe that it's quite possible. What do you think? What do you think about the Vella platform? Have you been happy?
Yeah, I've been really happy using it. Just the community surrounding Vella. All us authors stick together, and it's just a great relationship with our readers. The feedback is wonderful. I've never been part of something where I have gotten so much feedback. Not that I have like a million reviews on Vella, but it's certainly easier to get reviews and feedback than just using KDP.
Yes, because the read commitment is usually not what it is for a novel. The reviewers, if the serial is written like a serial, a reviewer can easily review it after just a handful of episodes, half dozen.
Yeah.
and be knowing whether they want to continue on or not. Which I do really like the serial way of writing. What about you? Do you enjoy it, or have you found it to be prohibitive or inhibitive in any way?
At first, I found it very challenging because I was only used to plotting out all of my books in novel format and like writing in these really big chunks. But once I really embraced, um, episodic fiction, and I saw what other authors were doing, I realized that it was a lot easier to like self motivate and get these episodes written because they were just, it's just, there's not as much pressure. There's less words. I was used to writing chapters that were like 7,000 words. So once I, narrowed it down to, some of my episodes are longer, but to between say like 2,500 and 4,000 words, it was a lot easier for me to get it done. It didn't feel so overwhelming.
Right, right. Now, some of these were finished when you brought them into Vella, right?
Yes.
Okay. But the Apollo Invents, are you writing it as you go?
Yep.
Very good. And plans for any new Vellas on the burners that we could know about?
Well, I have Pride Book 2 in the works. It's called Lost in the Mist.
Cool, cool,
I have a sequel to The Blood of the Desert planned out.
cool.
A sequel to Silence planned out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like series. That's kind of my main mode of writing. I can rarely limit myself to one book in a world I've built. I have to expand.
Oh, well, yeah, especially if you go to all the trouble of world building. Yeah, you want to make sure that you tap that sucker out for
Yeah.
whatever ideas are coming to you. I keep looking up, but the reason I do is because my murderous feline is staring at the window at some birds. And he's still
Mm.
really, really butthurt because he got himself a songbird the other day, brought it into the house, and I wouldn't let him have it.
Oh.
Yes. And yeah, and it was probably the smartest songbird I've ever seen because it managed to keep its head together enough to play dead when he was looking at it, and he got bored and sat up, and the sucker took off and found its way out of an open window that I'd opened because I knew we had a bird in the house. And so yeah, my big black cat's barely speaking to me anymore. He's over there staring up like, why did mom let my bird go? So anyway, if you see me looking up, or if it looks like I'm moving my eyes skyward, it's because Nutsky is standing in the window here and distracting me. So okay, so we've got a second book of Pride, and called Lost in the Mist coming.
Yep.
And then second one's on a couple of your series already. So let's see. Second one's on, did you say Silence?
Yep.
Okay. And a second season for which
The
other?
Blood of the Desert.
Blood of the Desert. Okay. So we can look forward to seeing all of those.
Yep.
So have you haven't been publishing very long. Have you sort of heard other authors buzzing about summer reads or beach reads? Have you heard any buzz about that?
I haven't heard too many. Just a couple little things here and there. Hashtags, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm starting to feel anxiety because I don't think I have anything that I can call a beach read. I don't. Anytime I was sitting on a beach, I was always too drunk to read anything, right? So maybe that's what they're talking about. Maybe you just need to put something together that makes sense even when you're drunk, Episode 2, don't forget your shoes, find your damn phone, stumble home. That's episode 2 right there. But no, so I'm especially you younger people, you seem to have everything completely dialed in. So I always want to ask these questions because I'm mystified and I'm old. All right, then. So moving on. So you've been happy with Kindle Vella, and how are you building your readership out there? How are you doing it?
Well, I started a blog a couple years ago, back in 2019 when I was still in college. And I posted a lot of short stories about the meerkats that would end up being supporting characters in like The Blood of the Desert and Silence.
Oh, cool beans.
Yeah,
Cool.
so
So you had something already going that you could point people to.
yep. Yeah, so
Killer.
I still am active on that. Um, Mostly with updates. I've since then put together all the short stories into one book and have it available on KDP. And then I
Man, you're
also
killing it. I'm gonna go hide somewhere.
no. I just got lucky. I had the time and I find it all really fun. So
The pandemic really did percolate up a bunch of writers who'd
yeah.
been procrastinating or otherwise too busy. You know, it
Hmm.
removed a lot of excuses for a lot of
Yeah.
would-be writers, and it bubbled those suckers up to the surface. And I'm so glad that it has, because we got a lot of fresh voices out there on Kindle Vella, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I love exploring Kindle Vella and all the new reads. It's amazing. There's so many genres that I would not have told you I was interested in before
Right.
publishing on Kindle Vella and trying other people's works. And it's like, you know what, I actually really love this. The writing's really well done. And it's a story I never would have like looked at twice if I was at a bookstore shopping for books.
See, that's what I've been so stunned about is out there on Kindle Vella, I was thinking to myself, you know, it's so easy to publish out here. It's so easy to get started out here. There is bound to be, you know, 2 out of 3 of these are bound to be crap, but that is not the case at
Hmm.
all. I have read literally dozens before hitting one that I thought was subpar,
Hmm.
you know, and
Yeah.
so I've been extremely happy with that. The quality seems to be overall pretty darn good, um, especially given, like I say, the ease of getting started, the ease of uploading and so forth.
Hmm.
So that brings me to this question. Do you read Villas? And you already said you did. So can you tell us a couple of your faves?
Yes. Okay. Sorry. I am reading like over 100 novellas right now. I do have several favorites. I'm just trying to think of the names.
Oh, okay. Well, you just take your time there, kid. 100. All right.
Yeah,
I,
I like to, every time I get tokens, I really like to spread them out and not just use them on like one story.
right,
So,
right, right.
um, there's one about a deer mouse, and I cannot remember the exact title, and I'm so sorry I can't remember the author's name, but it's a wonder of animal fantasy fiction, which is what I would consider like my meerkats and pride to be a part of, just another story from the point of view of an animal. And I loved finding it because they can be, I mean, they're rare gems a lot of the time. So that's one I really enjoy. There's another one about a mouse in children's stories called Angelo's Gift. I am thinking that the author's name is Amanda Stone. I hope I'm correct. I'm very sorry if I'm not. But
No, that's okay. And if you can just remember the name, that's cool. I can, if I can find them, what I do is I'll put the links in the descriptions under your favorites.
yes, I really like that one. There's another. It's in a series that I believe is called the Spectra Chronicles. I know the author though. Her name is Christy Powell, and that one's a really good fantasy work. There's some shape shifting in there that I just absolutely love.
So, okay, so that's fantasy. Is that so really you consider the genre that you write in to be your favorite genre for reading, yeah?
Yeah,
Very
that
good,
definitely
very good.
is.
So you try to stick in the fantasy fiction area.
Yeah.
What
And
about sex? Do you is there any in your books that you write about?
no, just if the genre allows for it, and it's appropriate for the audience, there could be mentions, but no, I don't usually write any R-rated scenes.
But it's closed door. It's closed door. If there is some, then it's closed door.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So is that true for the stuff that you read?
pretty much.
Because I have rediscovered my love of good, well-written erotica out here, and there's a bunch of good smut toker authors out here on Vella, but I'd say they are fast coming up to invisibility. So I always have to ask about that. So, got any sex in it? Yes. All right. So no meerkat sex. I'll mark that
No.
right off. And yeah, why did you even ask that question, Az? I'm gonna go wash my brain out with something. Yes, yes. Okay, and so now for the wicked question that I always ask everybody: if you, Allura Shoop, if you were the keeper of the keys to Kindle Vella, what, if anything, would you change?
Well, I've been thinking about that. So I think what I would change is I wish we didn't have to upload episodes like one at a time. I wish that I could just use one document, no matter whether I'm planning on uploading a book or an episode or anything to Kindle Vella, I still write everything first in that novel format, one after the other, all in one big document. And I wish that I could upload just that one document. And since they're all definitively divided into chapters that would fit the episode lengths, that Vella would just kind of like take them out of the document and organize them into the episodes, I guess, just to save me some time. And
I'm not, that's a brand new one. That is a brand new one. And I can see it, but only if you're working with like Word.
yeah,
I can see
yeah.
it because this sucker is it's the KDP upload console. It's the software has been tweaked so that it understands Word's basic function.
Yeah.
So like a page break would do it. A forced page break would do it, or a forced section break would do it. But then that would hamstring anybody else who was, say, like writing their story in Pages on a Mac or something like that. So I don't know that one's ever going to come, but I like it because it's a brand new one. You didn't bust out or recycle any of the other changes that anyone else would make. I just and so I like a new thing. That's pretty cool. I'll have to think about that. But those of us who aren't writing 14 or 15 of these suckers at a time don't need that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably very well true.
I just think it's wonderful that you have so many of these out here, that you have so many of these for people to choose from. So let's see, I've already asked you what your favorite Vellas are, what you're reading out there, and what we can expect from you in the future. And we've learned that you like telling stories serial style, so we can expect to see more of the same types of lovely works that we've got here, which are all middle grade or YA folks, and they're clean. So, you know, these are books that you'd feel comfortable telling people that their kids could read, right? Correct?
Yes. Yeah, the only work on there that I have published on Vella right now, that I would consider adult fiction would be Otherworldly. And that's my horror anthology, Scary Stories, just because some of the content could be disturbing.
Right, right. Most little kids I've met today are far more disturbing and disturbed than anything I could hand them to read. Trust me when I tell you that. Creepy little devils. Anyway, I guess it comes from going to school for 2 years with masks on. I don't know. But so from the people who would be clicking your links and taking a look at your work, what would you like to say to them?
So I guess what I would like to impart upon my readers is that I write because, of course, I love to write, but also because reading for me has always been such a great comfort. You know, books have been a friend in a dark moment. It's given me courage in otherwise hard situations. I draw a lot of empathy and compassion from what I read. And that's really my goal as a writer, is to help people the same way that I've been helped.
To give people that experience.
Yeah.
And that support that
Mhm.
is so all important, especially, you know, I don't think there's any time that comfort could be more needed than the middle grade target audience.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I feel the same.
and it's so much more true today than it even was in my day, or even as late as your day, because social media has become a very much a Pandora's box that
Yeah.
has been opened up, and nobody really thought about how it would be affecting all those kids in like middle grades when the hormones are going ape shit, and half the kids in school are so mean you really ought to be tying them up in a junkyard somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody thought about what those little devils would do when they got their hands on social media, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And so it's rough. And so I think it's great what you're doing. I think it's wonderful to give a kid somewhere to escape to, you know, where meerkats stand tall and talk to each other, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Done. Form awesome friendships and teach you humans how to be. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's so wonderful that you took time out of your obviously very busy writing schedule to come and speak to me today. We'll put links for everything of Ellaura's in the comments, including to your social media. We'll even go out and try to find the ones that she liked about the deer mouse. And we've got Angela's Gift by Amanda Stone. That one we did know. And Spectra what?
The Spectral Crown Chronicles.
Okay, Chronicles. That's what I couldn't read my own writing. Okay, so we'll try to find those and get those down in the links for you. But always, definitely, all of Ellaura's work will be down there. So be sure and click on it. Go out and take a look at it. Sounds like fascinating stuff. And once again, Ellaura, thank you so much for taking time to be here today.
Thank you. It's been absolutely lovely.
Enjoyed it very much. Take care, everybody. See you next time.